Morgan, this is your late-night talk show debut. Is this correct?
Yeah.
I'm honored. I'm honored.
It is, with the exception of an LSD-induced delusion in 1999.
Ooh.
This is my late-night debut.
So what happened in 1999?
I went to see the great Paula Poundstone
Great comedian.
at the county fair in Sonoma County, California.
Yeah.
And I decided to enhance this experience with 8 hits of surprisingly powerful LSD. And as I was watching the great Paula Poundstone, I transitioned from the comfortable space of being very high and knowing that you are very high to simply experiencing something and it being completely indistinguishable from reality. And in that reality, I was sitting in the audience at the David Letterman. And there was this sort of shadow creature moving through the audience, feeling for like the energy of the people in the audience. And at one point, it made it clear to me that I had been selected. Dave wanted me to come out of the audience and be on the show. And when I realized this, I was so moved and I was so excited that I stood up and I raised my hand. I was so open-hearted, I was ready. I was ready to come and speak to Dave. My girlfriend at the time, she pulled me down, and I'm ashamed to say that I bit her to keep her from spoiling my moment.
You nicely bit her.
I did, yeah, very, very brutally, in fact.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, it was, and then, but then things went great with me and Dave. We had a fantastic conversation. He sort of was introducing me to America. America was falling in love with me in that moment. I mean, I was in a state of narcissistic bliss.
Wow. And you were really at a county fair.
I was, in fact, at a county fair watching Paula Poundstone. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So this is not your late night debut. So yeah, technically it is, but wow.
Yeah.
That's a story right there. Oh my gosh.
Well, it's nice to be here. This is much more pleasant.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I'm happy that you're here. I want to talk to you about Gilded Age. Congratulations on this. You were unbelievable on the show.
Thank you. Thank you.
Phenomenal actor, and you got your start in theater.
I did.
You were in this play, A View from the Bridge. This is you and Scarlett Johansson and Liev Schreiber. And you weren't supposed to be a star of this?
No, I wasn't. You can tell because the wig doesn't fit. But I was. I had a 2-line walk-on part as a longshoreman in A View from the Bridge with those 2 actors. And the first week of previews, the actor who was supposed to be playing Rodolfo got injured and he couldn't continue, and I was his cover, so I got to go on and like take over the show. It was very like it was my showgirls moment. But I didn't push him down the stairs.
You didn't push him down the stairs.
I had nothing to do with it.
Okay.
But yeah, and then that was the beginning of my career in earnest. Like I got a great agent and I got a manager, and that was like
It's like a Tom Brady story. Unbelievable.
Yeah. It is. Yeah. I have a lot in common with Tom Brady.
Yeah, or Showgirls, whichever one you want to say. But yeah, then you became who you are. And now you're on Gilded Age. The season has become the most watched season so far, by the way. And you almost thought you weren't going to make this season.
Oh, I mean, we did not think we were going to make a 3rd season. Yeah, it was, I mean, because I don't know if you remember, there was the double actors strike, the actors and writers strike.
Terrible.
Our contracts lapsed. We all thought it was over.
Yes.
First season, like, we hadn't really found an audience. And then the middle of the 2nd season, it kind of started to gain momentum and started to pick up traction online. And people were really talking about it. And also, I think, sort of seeing the pleasures of the show. Like, in some ways, it's, if you can enjoy a show where someone crossing a street for the first time in the season is like the height of drama.
Yes.
Or where the question is like, will the soup be adequately warm when it arrives at the table? If that's the kind of thing that will like, if you
like that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Get ready for this.
Well, but that's the thing. People did start to enjoy the show.
I love every single second of it. Julian Fellows. Is the creator behind this, who did Downton Abbey, and it's Julian Fellows, but on HBO.
Yeah, and I think that was the question: is like, what does it mean for Julian Fellows to be on HBO? Like, are there, because it's HBO, there should be boobs and guns and all that kind of stuff.
Yes,
but that's not Julian Fellows.
No.
And so I think for a while people were sort of trying to figure out how do these things go together.
And they go together so well. You just got picked up for season 4. That's what I'm talking about. But I want to show everyone a clip. Here's Morgan Spector in next week's episode of The Gilded Age. Take a look.
How could you believe you'd win?
Your son got lucky.
Luck had nothing to do with it. My son made an opportunity where there was none before. Because that's what great men do. I'm glad it played out the way it did. Not least because I learned your true character.
I'm no different from the rest of the men in our industry. Trust no one was always your motto.
You are different. Because from today, you are no longer in any industry. And you're finished in New York.
Morgan Spector, that is how you do it. The Gilded Age airs Sundays at 9 p.m. on HBO and HBO Max. More Tonight Show after the break. Stick around, everybody.